Hi, I'm Andy Allen from Wedding Trader, and we are doing a series of interviews with some of the leading voices in the wedding industry in the UK. We are going to be hoping to pick their brains and share their knowledge and expertise on a wide variety of topics on how we can all learn a little bit more and move forward post-pandemic. And I'm very pleased to have with me today Laura Daly, who's got 20 years experience in bridal retail, running her own award-winning business, Bellissima Weddings in Essex. So I'd like to introduce you to Laura. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
So we're going to talk a little bit about your top tips for dealing with this sort of new world that we're in and the new styles of shopping that brides-to-be are experiencing.
Sure.
And so as a retailer, could you talk a little bit about the understanding the moods and uncertainties in this new world of bridal retail?
Certainly. Definitely, there's a lot of uncertainty, or there has been a lot of uncertainty in this last year to 2 years in the whole of the wedding industry, not just for bridal retailing, but right across the board. And I think as bridal retailers, we've certainly seen the ups and downs and been on a right old fairground ride over this last few years. But I think what we need to really start to think about now is to look at what we do and our customer and realize that what she's actually craving now, as we all are, is certainty and stability. Yeah. And those are two things that, especially as a long-standing retailer, we can definitely provide for our customers. So we've been focusing very much on reassuring our customers that, we are a long-standing business, that we've been there before, that we know how they're feeling. And really, if we ever, we've always held their hand all the way through the wedding process, but now we really are reaching out with both hands and making sure that they understand that we are there for them all the way through. There've been meltdowns, there've been, some of these girls have had 4 and 5 weddings booked, and if they're coming or going now. So, we really have tried to be there for them and be that reassuring, stable shoulder that they can have a little sob on. And, as you said, pick our brains, ask us questions. We are the font of all this knowledge. And I think all bridal retailers in the UK can actually realise that we know so much. We don't realise we know so much, but we really do. Yeah. And our customers are, they're fighting in the dark, trying to find answers. We really can look at ourselves and think we can be those people. We can be that rock for those brides. And I think that's the way that we go forward, making sure that they understand that, we are that certainty for them in a very uncertain world.
Excellent. Yeah, that's really important for brides, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That kind of bricks and mortar store that's always been there, that they've known about since they were little girls, that friends of theirs have bought their dress from, and they can kind of rely and
that they've had a long time sitting on their sofa, surfing the internet, chatting on these chat rooms where the whole fever pitch gets higher and higher and higher. And if there's not a voice of reason there, which sometimes there isn't, and let's face it, we are talking of predominantly brides, so predominantly females, all whipping each other up into a frenzy of, oh my God, what happens if? And we can be those people that can actually step in and say, whoa, you actually don't need to be that worried about things. You will get married, you still love your partner, this wedding will happen. It may not happen as you envisaged, but it will still be wonderful. And we're now seeing that. We're now seeing these girls, the ones that have had the 4th and 5th time booked, just saying, you know what, I'm going for it. And they're leading the way now. They're having this smaller wedding. They've had the most amazing wedding. The pictures still look amazing. And I think that's feeding back down the line now to girls to just say, it will be what it will be. If I can have a big wedding, fab. If I can't, I'll have what I can.
Sure. And in terms of actual products, the dresses that you're selling, is now a good time for sort of sorting out what's working for you, what's not been working for you, what current bride is looking towards buying?
Absolutely. I think, we look very much for the bridal experience when they come into our store, and I'm sure most shops do the same thing. And so we really want to be speaking the same language, fashion-wise and expectation-wise, as the bride when she walks through the door. And what we've seen, and I think this is, again, this goes back to this certainty and the stability, is that there's been a bit more focus now on more classic styles. And we've seen that the very, very trendy things that we were selling a lot of before the pandemic hit, now, they still get tried on and they still get ordered. But we're definitely seeing girls looking, I don't know if it's like a safety blanket, something like, like comfort food. It's like, I know this and I recognize this and everybody's going to love this. And in my photos in 50 years time, someone's going to look and say, oh, what a lovely dress you've got on there, Gran. And it's not going to be, and I think there's more of a focus on just bringing it all a bit more real. So we've definitely focused on that, the way that we've merchandised our shop and the styles that we bring to the fore and the styles that we're suggesting. And we can see that there is a definite uptake on that more classic, timeless look.
Interesting. Okay, I wanted to ask you about shows and what are your plans this year? Are you going to go to any shows? Are you going to, are you looking to buy at shows, or are you sticking with your tried and trusted designers, or are you looking for new products? Or
I don't think for us as a business it's the right moment to be looking for new lines, because we're very lucky to have some of the best designers working alongside us. So we do have a lot of the big ticket names in our store.
Yeah.
And, anybody that knows us will know that over this last 18 months, we have bought very conservatively and we've been very careful. We've had to be as a business. You look at the bottom line and, yes, you want new products on your rails, but we bought new products over a year ago that some have only just come in and some are only just being seen now. So it's, it's difficult money-wise to suddenly just say, I'm going to buy everything I see. So we have been very careful over these last 18 months. However, I will go to Harrogate, most definitely, because that's where I'm going to see the majority of my labels all under one roof. For us as a business, we have hit the ground running. The minute that we opened this time round, our shop has been so busy. I cannot take time out to go to the smaller shows, however much I'd love to, because, I love, anyone who knows me will know I love a drink, I love a chat, and I'll be the first one there normally. But this year, it's just not happened. So, I've had to sort of pull back and just say, right, when we get to Harrogate, I will most definitely be looking to continue. We've had a fairly decent run now. Hopefully that will continue. And if it does, when I get to September, if we've made the money to spend, then I'll be spending it. If we haven't, you can't spend what you haven't got. I mean, we always have to speculate a little bit, but we also have to work together with all of this. So I'm going there with an open mind and hoping that the rest of the year continues as it is at the moment, and we'll be able to place normal orders as we would do normally in Harrogate.
So you mentioned that you're going to be sticking with your products the designers that you've worked with in the past. But what are you going to be looking for in their products, as you mentioned, the more classic styles?
Well, I really want to see where they've taken, and they've obviously had a lot of feedback from their retailers, not just in this country, but all over, that they run different ad campaigns in all different parts of the world, and they will be seeing what other places, I'm always on the lookout for a new thing, for something that may sell well in the future. And at the moment, most definitely, that look is more classic and girls are homing in on more classic, but that could just be this moment in time. So when we get to Harrogate, as hopefully the world starts to open up and confidence returns and there's more variation in weddings and bigger numbers, then we could see anything. I think it's going to be very hard to predict now what we'll actually be looking for in Harrogate. If you ask me at this moment, I would say, I want more timeless classics. But I don't know, we're in June. So, there's a few months yet and a lot of brides to see. So I'm just going to go with an open mind, have a look and see what they've got and what I think is going to be good for our business. But I think it's just too early to call it at the moment, to be quite honest. It
certainly feels like there's still changes afoot, doesn't it, going on? And people's, you never quite can put your finger on exactly what's going to be the latest thing, but I think that's good advice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm normally by about this time in the year, you've got a pretty good idea what girls are out looking for, and so you start to formulate a bit of a plan. You know what they're looking for. Then you could, we would also look over the last year what we sold well. We'll pull down all the figures, we'll look and we'll see. But because it's been so patchy this year, it has been, you know, one of those years where I think it's all to play for. So that's why we wouldn't be looking for any new label. However, I've said that, I think, so many times. And then you get to a show and you see something and it just blows you away and you think, oh my God, I know I just said I don't want anything else, but I think I've got to have that.
I can see my
you know, again, it's, and I think, you know, we're all in that same boat. We all want to do the right thing for our businesses. It's just quite what that is. You know, I've got some friends of mine that are saying not spending any money, not doing anything, don't want to go, don't want to look, it's too early. And then there's others like myself that, you know, are open-minded, and we'll just see when we get there.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Laura. That's been a really useful conversation, and I'm sure you've given, you know, I'm sure a lot of people are in the same position, aren't they, in boutiques across the country, and they're just sort of beginning to, you know, open the doors again and get a sense of normality and you know, what they're going to be buying as the new season sort of comes in. So thank you for your time. And
you're welcome.
Yeah, that's lovely to talk to you. So we'll talk to you again soon, no doubt.
Okay, thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Laura. Cheers then. Bye. Bye.